Explore the land and its climates. We have been hearing a lot lately about climate change. Scientists tell us that Earth is getting warmer. Sometimes it's hard to believe that on a cold winter day. But though the weather may be cold, climate is a more complicated story. Weather is a matter of temperature, precipitation, and wind conditions at a particular time. Climate is the pattern of weather in a climate region over a long period of time. Climate regions. The United States is a large country with many climate regions. Do you live in the middle of the country, in Ohio, for example? Then you are in a humid continental climate region. You are used to very hot summers and very cold winters. Precipitation averages between 20 and 40 inches per year, 500 to 1,000 millimeters. In summer, there are thunderstorms, hail, and maybe even a tornado. Forests, grasses, and farm crops grow very well here. That's because of the combination of long, hot summer days and plentiful rain. Do you live in Central California near the Pacific Ocean? Then you are in the Mediterranean climate region. Here, summers are hot and dry, winters are mild and wet. About 14 to 26 inches of rain, 360 to 640 millimeters fall per year. Nearly all of it falls during the winter months. It rarely gets cold enough to snow. In this climate, plants grow best in winter. Plants that hold moisture survive the dry summers best. Farmers must irrigate their crops to keep them from drying out. Florida is a humid subtropical climate region. Summers are very hot and humid. South Florida averages 60 inches of rain, 1,500 millimeters per year. It falls mostly in the summer months. This climate is perfect for growing citrus crops such as oranges. On some winter nights, the temperature drops below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Growers place heaters called smudge pots beneath the trees to keep the fruit from freezing. Find a map in a book or on the internet that shows the climate zones of North America. Find out what climate zone you live in. Temperature and precipitation vary from one climate region to another, but what makes one region hotter or wetter than another? Let's take a look real quick at the United States climate zones. All right, let's just take a quick peek at where we live. We are North Carolina, which means we are right over here, and we are in the brown area, which, let's see, what does it say? Yeah, that one doesn't explain so much. Let's try, this one maybe tells a little bit more. All right, so this also tells, oh, the key is somewhere else. All right, bottom line, we live in a warm part of the United States, but we're kind of in a little bit less warm, like Charlotte's right there, so that's kind of us. All right, now, temperature. Climates on Earth start with the sun. Temperatures vary for many reasons, but they all have to do with the sun. Climate on Earth, climate has a lot to do with latitude. That's a measure of how close a region is to the equator or to the North Pole or South Pole. As you know, the Earth turns on its axis once a day. It orbits the sun once a year. Earth's axis is tilted at an angle toward the sun. Because of that tilt, the northern and southern hemispheres receive different amounts of sunlight as the Earth moves around the sun. These differences create our seasons. We live in the northern hemisphere. When half of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, we get more sunlight. Days are longer and hotter. We have summer. All at that same time, the southern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. There it is winter. The northern hemisphere is at its nearest tilt toward the sun on June 21st or 22nd. That date is called the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. The same date is the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. Look at the diagram on the next page. It shows how the seasons change as the Earth moves in its orbit. December 22nd or 23rd is the winter solstice in our hemisphere. That's when the southern hemisphere is most tilted toward the sun, and our hemisphere is tilted away. Midway between the solstices are two dates when the sun is shining directly down on the equator. These points in Earth's orbits are called the equinoxes. They mark the beginning of spring and fall. I will stop right there so I don't run out of time.